Alright guys, this is just another quick video when it comes to retro game collecting and tips. Now this is something I failed to mention on the last video, but it's something very important that I feel like I must pass on to new collectors. For any of you that already know about this stuff, this is just going to be a reminder, I guess, if you want to watch the video. If not, thanks for stopping by anyway. But for those of you that are new and getting into the market, this is something I need to show you. Look out for the fake reproduction or bootleg games when buying games. Now, I failed to mention this in my last video, but it's very important that you guys know what to look for when it comes to these bootleg games. They are plaguing the market. They've been plaguing the market of the retro game community for, I don't know, the last 6-7 years or so. It wasn't as bad up to 4 years ago, but in the last 4 years it's gotten rampant, and it's gotten to the point now where people can either make them really, really good, or they're just plain bad, and you could tell that they're bad, but yet people that run a retro video game store just refuse to tell people this. And what I mean by this, and what I'm going to show you, is a real Craigslist posting for a retro video game, a Super Nintendo game, Batman and Robin. The only problem is, it is clearly a bootleg game. It's clearly a fake. And yet, nowhere in the listing does this person write that it's bootleg or fake. And actually, when I looked at this ad, I realized that this is a person that does run a retro gaming store in the Sacramento area, and that I have met before, which it kind of surprises me that they have these listings up. But not only that, but there was an app, I don't know if people still use it, it was called Let Go, but I remember seeing on this app the same fake bootleg games on here, and funny enough, they're the same pictures, which makes me believe that it's the same person selling these fake games. And the sad thing is I thought that this game store was someone that was trustworthy. I've seen them at the flea market. If you look at my flea market videos, or video of me going to the flea market, it was the seller who was the first one that I saw at the flea market. The one that I actually talked highly of. I'm not going to mention them now just because there's no point. I'm not giving them free publicity. But they are not listing that these games are fake, which they clearly are. And I remember when I was on the Let Go app, I messaged this seller and said, hey, these games are fake, but yet you're charging regular price for these as if they were real. Immediately I got blocked by this account. So let's look at this copy in close detail. You can see that the label looks clearly bootlegged, and here is the key feature right here, is the pins on the game are gray. They look like they're plastic screws that are holding the game clamshell together. Everyone knows that any Super Nintendo game that's actually real does not have that. I'm going to show you in detail what a bootleg game looks like because I own one. I bought one for this purpose of this video, specifically to show this on camera, because these games can be made for cheap and they're sold from China, most of them. And I bought one for $2. $2. And I'm ready to show it to you guys. Now, what I'm going to show you here is a perfect example. This is a bootleg, fake, Earthbound Super Nintendo cart. Look at this label. From afar, it looks like I'm holding Earthbound. Up close, you can clearly tell that this is glossy paper. And what do we have here? These gray screws, which aren't even really screws. Let me show you. They are pins to hold the clamshell together. This one's a little... I don't want to break it, but... There you go. You see? These aren't even screws. These are just little holders. And here's the board. Look at this beast board for this fake Earthbound cart. I will show you a real Earthbound board compared to this one. So as you can see, definitely not real. Definitely not supposed to be made. Very illegal to be selling online. Well, I don't know how... It's not like, ooh, someone committed a major crime here. But yes, this is not real. But a lot of sellers that sell retro video games try to pass these off as the real deal. Try to pass these off as full fucking price items. And this is something to look out for, especially if you're a new collector, because many bad resellers out there will try to sell you on these and make you think that you got a good deal when this is something they probably bought in bulk from fucking China. Look, if this doesn't show you right here what I'm about to do, that this isn't fake, look at that. That is not supposed to look like that. These are not real. These shouldn't be made. But sadly, many people are going to try to pass these off to you. And if you're not in the know, say you were just Joe Schmo coming off the street and you're like, hey, I remember Super Nintendo. I want to get some games for it. Oh wow, Earthbound. I remember loving that game as a kid. Let me go buy it. Ooh, it's $100. Let me look on my phone. Oh, it goes for $185 online. Boom, I'm gonna buy this right here because that's a good deal. First of all, a $100 game is not a good deal at all. But what I'm saying is, be on the lookout. Be aware of these things. These are not things that are really touched upon really when it comes to giving advice to people. But it is something that is a huge problem in the retro video game market. And it sucks when you see people like that you thought were trustworthy as resellers that should know better. They own a retro video game store. I've met these people in person. They should know better than to list this as works great and trying to pass it off as the real thing, not even listing in the art or the ad on Craigslist that these are fake. So shame on them. And sadly, mostly a lot of resellers that don't give a shit about you are going to try to pass these off to you as real. So be on the lookout for those. And there's really only one good thing to do with this, but I'll save that for another video. And if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video game retro game collecting tip, whatever survival guide video I do next. Anyway guys, I am out.